welcome back to another episode of Why I Love BNI, a podcast just spotlighting on different businesses here in the area and what networking groups can do for your business. So, Jeff, I'm super excited that you've joined us today. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Well, absolutely. Great seeing you.
Great, thank you so much. Well, I thought no better person to really kick us off the series than someone who does marketing and he'll go into what he does, but texting and just making sure people remember you is all what he's about. So I'm like, when we're talking about networking groups and talking to people, this is one of the people to meet and talk to. So, Jeff, why don't you kick us off? And now you can tell us just a little bit about your business and how you got started in it.
Well, that's great. Right. Solutions by Salm was always a side hustle for me from my corporate job. And now I've really expanded it quite a bit. So in that umbrella, I usually talk about my texting program. And what I do is I partner with businesses, owners, general managers, and help effectively communicate to their loyal audiences using text messaging. It's been around for 30 years. Most of the big businesses have that all in-house and do all their marketing. So my objective is to help the small, independent, medium-sized businesses communicate with their audience instantly with text messaging and delivering excellent content that's either actionable or informational.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people who do a lot of work with you and they're always really happy and they love, I love getting texts from those types of businesses as well. So you do a great job. Well, I would love to know what got you involved in BNI? Like where did your BNI journey start?
I'm going to Jeff speak for a second. I was hoodwinked into going to a meeting. So a buddy of mine, longtime buddy, worked with him for years and years and years and said, "Hey, Jeff, you need to come to this meeting." I was like, "I don't think I need to." And he goes, "Yeah, you'll love it." And he did it perfectly. He just said, "Just go see what it's like." So at first I thought it was like a social club, another chamber, or some other type of business. So I said, "All right, Uncle, I'll go." So we get there. Within 5 minutes, he was absolutely correct. Fantastic structure, accountability. And I said, "Oh my gosh, I've never heard of BNI until now." So I was all in. So I've been with BNI for right about 2 years now. Fabulous organization. And he did it right because he knew I'd probably prejudge, but
Mm.
it was exactly in my particular wheelhouse at that time. Love it.
I'm just curious, why would you have prejudged it?
Well, simply because I have done different
Mm.
organizations before, and there really isn't that much of accountability in it. It's just meeting and you make what you can out of it. But this one has accountability tied to it. And that's how I'm wired, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you do a great job. We're a part of an accountability group together, and I know you're one of the most consistent ones outside of me, and that's because my dad runs the group, so I have to help him run it. So outside of me, you're definitely one of the most consistent ones. So I can definitely tell that. I think it's really funny that you mentioned you were kind of like hoodwinked almost into coming to BNI because I feel like when it comes to BNI, there are obviously two avenues. You either know of BNI and you're scared of it, or you don't know what BNI is and you're still kind of scared of it. So I think in this, we learned the lesson that sometimes less is more. Sometimes us as BNIers, we feel like we have to overcompensate. No, trust me, you'll love this. You'll come, you'll have a great time, blah, 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 blah. I just told them so much information, they're overwhelmed. But it sounds like your friend was just like, why don't you just trust me? We're great friends. I think you'll enjoy this. And you did.
Exactly. I even
Yeah.
have my own shirts and I even put BNI on it now, too.
Wow. Yes, you're right. I remember this now. It's so cool. I mean, it's a great logo too. I think it just rolls off the tongue like BNI. It sounds like cool, like a little club. What has been probably your favorite? I mean, we talked a little bit about accountability, but what else has been your favorite part about being a part of BNI?
Well, it is that business-minded network of
Mhm.
like-minded individuals. Some of the folks are employees of companies and representing that company. And a good portion, I don't have the stats, is anecdotal. Maybe 50% of the folks, or probably even more, are business owners. And that entrepreneurial spirit, that is just an incubator to help businesses grow. And I just love having a Rolodex. Hey, I need a concrete guy. I need a web design. I need this. I need that. Well, I got a guy or a
Yeah.
gal.
Or gal, for sure. I mean, it's
Exactly.
very exciting for me to be able to
Yeah.
say that, when someone goes, "Oh my gosh, I've just been having the worst time with this." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I have just the person for you." Like I get so excited to do. I usually my favorite way is doing email connections, and then I'll log in the app, and I get so excited to do it. I'm like, "Yay, you guys are gonna have the best time. It's gonna be a great connection." And I just get so excited about it. It's really fun for me. How else has
There's
been? Oh, sorry.
there's another caveat to the whole thing too, is the recognition. And that's part of the accountability
Mm,
quotient is, hey, I referred Macy to this person and vice versa. And in the meetings, you say, okay, I've had two referrals, three referrals, 10 referrals, whatever it goes. And again, back to the accountability, which is something I really enjoy.
I like the accountability, and I think consistency is also a big factor that you and I both enjoy. Showing up every single week, and seeing these people. I know sometimes people can be like, "Oh my God, like that's repetitive or that's boring or something," but I think there's also something really special you can learn. And everyone, if anyone doesn't know how BNI works, we all have our 30-second to 60-second commercial, being like, "Hey guys, this is my business, just a refresher, and here's a great referral for me." And then sometimes people come up with things that I'm like, I had never thought to connect you with someone, but I do know someone in this. So I think that's something really special to learn about other businesses too. Like you learn synergies that you genuinely could not have fathomed in your own brain. Yeah. How has BNI been the most helpful for your business? Like what have you seen the most?
Not only is the group that I am involved with and you also very helpful to my business, but BNI in the larger scope, it's national. I make it a point to go to other BNI meetings because my business is very unique and I'm able to speak about my business in those meetings and get referrals from them because everybody has a Rolodex and you just want to be part of that. So you're
Definitely.
helping businesses not only in your group, but regionally and even in my case, nationally.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, recently I've been going to like the roundtables in St. Augustine or going to some chapters in Port Orange and just having like even one or two one-on-ones in that week. I just come up with so many people, like especially from like our chapter. That's the best way I've been. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this guy, this guy, this guy. Do you have that guy? No, we don't have that guy. Oh my God, perfect. So this is a guy I can refer you to, and vice versa. And it's one of those things you just don't know. You think everyone knows each other and everyone already has their guy, but you'll find like half the time that's not even the case.
And it's just a trusted pool of individuals. You know that they're going to service whatever their service is, it's going to be top notch professional, or else they wouldn't be involved.
Exactly. I would love to know. So you've been in BNI for, I would say a good while, or at least definitely longer than I have. What
Yeah.
kind of tips do you have for us newer BNIers?
Is the one to ones, is to get to know the
Mm,
other individual. And the coined phrase is a 1-2-1. You sit down in front of somebody either on Zoom or over coffee, and you can, number one, get to know that person, and you can get an in-depth tutorial about their business instead of assuming, well, my business is texting. Everybody knows what texting is, but how is it beneficial to your network or somebody that needs that? And the same thing with yours. You are able to really communicate people's passion
mhm.
and what their business really is.
Yeah, recently I had a one-to-one with someone in our chapter, and she had been in our chapter. She's been in our chapter maybe 2 months or so. And she's like, "Hey, so I don't even think I even really understand what you do." And when I explained the whole thing to her, she's like, "Oh my God, I've
Yeah.
been actually looking for something like this. I didn't even know you did this." So those one-to-ones are just so powerful, and people depend on how long they take. But I usually do like 30 minutes, and I go in with our little gains profile, and I think we always have a really great time, and we always take away at least one referral to give each other. And I think it's really, really great that we all have that mindset in our group. Yeah. So Jeff, I really appreciate you taking the time. Is there any last thing you'd kind of like to throw out there when it comes to BNI that you maybe either really enjoyed or any tips you have before we wrap this up?
It's just that it has a very long runway, especially for me nationally, and there's hundreds of chapters throughout the
Uh-huh.
country. So
Yeah.
nobody's ever heard of BNI, look it up or give me a call. We'll invite you to some kind of meeting or
Yeah.
wherever. It's anybody that has a business, I would say try BNI, just go see it and see if it's right for you.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time and educating us a little bit on what BNI means to you and how it's helped your business. It's really great to see you, every week in our chapter. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. So I appreciate your time today.
You bet. See you tomorrow.
Of course. And to everyone watching, I really appreciate you as well. And we'll see you next time.